Everybody has one podcast. We are back.
Yes, yes.
Another week. So much going on in the world of sports. So little time to discuss it all. I'm your host, Jason Flake, here with my co-host, Lance Reynolds, a.k.a. the People's Champ.
What up, though?
We like to start the show the same way each week, thanking the Everybody Has One family for another great week of engagement. We got thousands of views on the YouTube channel. We got great engagement all across the social sites. That is Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. That's Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. That's Facebook. That's Instagram. That's Twitch. That's Threads. And that's TikTok. The audio version of the podcast is also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you continue to like, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you hit that bell notification. And when you hit that bell notification, make sure you hit all so that you are notified every time that we post new content, new shorts, new videos, and, of course, every time we go live, which is every Wednesday at 8:30 or as close as we can get to it. Man, so much to discuss. Thank y'all so much, man, for continuing to tap in, man. None of this is possible without the Everybody Has One family, man. And I know y'all checking in to see what we talking about today, man. A lot of NBA on the table, man. So without further ado, man, let's get to it. Let's wrap up this Knicks and Cavs series. This past Monday night, after New York took a commanding 3-0 series lead on Saturday with a 121-108 victory, they completed the sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers in dominant fashion. Knicks pulled all of their starters with about 7 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the game after amassing a 35-point lead by that time, and they eventually won by a final score of 130-93. Donovan Mitchell did score 31 points on 9 of 18 shooting, but the rest of the Cavs were mostly underwhelming. James Harden did his winter soldier thing, scoring just 12 points in 33 minutes of action, making only 2 field goals, going 0 for 6 from 3 and turning the ball over 5 times. That makes nearly 50 postseason games where Harden has as many or more made field goals as turnovers, and his performance in closeout games continues to be noteworthy for the wrong reasons. Conversely, the New York Knicks look flat-out dominant. All but one of their rotation players averaged double-digit scoring for the series, and they now haven't lost a game in nearly a month. Their average margin of victory in that time, nearly 24 points per game, 23.7 to be exact. Let me ask the People's Champ. Is this series result more Knicks dominance or Cleveland incompetence? Perhaps it's a bit of both, but what say the People's Champ?
I think you got to give the majority of the credit to the Knicks.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
The Cavaliers are a flawed basketball team that I think if you just followed them even once they made the Harden trade, there were things with that team that you can see could be exploited. Mm-hmm. And in 7-game series, if you run across a team with a capable coach and the counteraction,
sure,
in terms of what Cleveland likes to do, this was. I didn't think it would be a sweep. I think I might have picked the Knicks in 5.
Yeah.
But
I think I thought something like that too.
But the Knicks are bigger on the perimeter. So I kind of figure, a lot of that dancing around that Donovan and James likes to do, to kind of be curtailed a little bit or a lot, I should say, against a team like the Knicks. So I think you have to give the Knicks credit. I think Cleveland, much like the Pistons, were kind of a flawed product.
Sure.
When you're talking needing the necessary parts, pieces, and players to compete at a high level late in the playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, no, I concur. I think it's no accident. The Knicks have certainly been dominant. That said, we did see a number of flaws in the Kenny Atkinson strategy.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to Mike Brown because, he did coach circles around Kenny Atkinson. For example, I'm all for leaving Josh Hart open from 3 and packing the paint. Lord knows that worked against Ausar Thompson last series. And that's not to beat up on Ausar too much, but this series it didn't. And when it's not working, you have to adjust. And Kenny Atkinson, much like Joe Mazzulla, is heavily influenced by analytics. Yeah. And analytics is fine for developing your strategy, but you still have to use your basketball intellect within the course of the game and the series to adjust.
Well, analytically, they got swept 4-3.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Josh Hart is a 35% three-point shooter on paper, which is just about league average, but he started making threes. So the strategy had to adjust. And actually, he shot about 41% from three this season, which, you know, that I was actually shocked to see that. But we know he's not a volume three-point shooter. Mm-hmm. And I think the strategy was to make him a volume three-point shooter. But, again, he started hitting threes. And, again, he only made 9 three-pointers in the series, but they were all timely, it seemed like. And Kenny Atkinson never really adjusted, and I'm willing to concede that he possibly did adjust, and none of it worked. So he saddled with 2 subpar perimeter defenders, mostly small, unathletic backups or unathletic backups in Sam Hauser and Dennis Schroeder. And even though I do hate hypotheticals, I will ask the people's champ, would the Pistons have been a better, more competitive matchup for the Knicks than the Cavaliers?
Gee, that's tough. I mean, I'm going to be a homer and show my team some love and say the Pistons may have got a game. For the simple factor, my thinking behind that would be either one of those teams coming off that 7-game series will be hard-pressed to beat this Knicks team the way they're clicking right now. Coupled with the way that we were kind of sputtering and piecemealing our offense, you know, it would have been a different look, I think, than the regular season because I just think that the Knicks are playing a different brand of basketball, and we were playing a different brand of basketball simply because a lot of nights, I think, offensively, we were like 3-on-5 some nights.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think we would probably, I think we would get a game because I just think defensively we are leaps and bounds better than Cleveland.
That's what I was going to say. So we the second best defensive team in the NBA.
But I just, like I said, I just think the Knicks offensively when they turn it on, when they turn it on offensively, they can kind of hit you from a lot of different areas.
Yep.
And the Karl Anthony Towns revelation has been just that. In terms of he's doing a lot of what got him recruited to Kentucky in terms of impacting the game where you may not necessarily see it in the numbers.
Sure, yeah, a lot of versatility.
Which was what I always thought was his best ability, as opposed to him probably thinking shooting like dirt.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Pistons would have got a game, maybe 2, but I don't think they would have beat the Knicks.
I mean, it's a game of matchups, and the Cavs are a bad matchup for us. I think we are a bad matchup for the Knicks. I agree with you, though. I don't know that necessarily translates to us beating the Knicks. I wouldn't take it that far, but I do think that we would have been a much better defensive matchup. Also, as bad as Jalen Duren was playing, we actually do have some historical context that he played fairly well against them last year. He averaged a double-double and shot 65% from the field. I think they're a better matchup because they only play one big at a time, whereas Orlando and Cleveland played multiple bigs at the same time. So, I do think that there would have been more room for him, but again, I'm not going to dive too deep into hypotheticals because I don't really like hypotheticals. That I leave that up to other people.
Right.
I do think that, we're a better matchup for the Knicks in that we would have definitely been a tougher matchup.
Yeah.
But the way that they're rolling right now, I don't think it's fair to come on and be like, man, we'd have beat the Knicks, man, flat out. Right. Like, no, the Knicks rolling right now. They playing at a different level. They playing a great brand of basketball. What you got, nephew?
No, it's just what you got to poll in the chat that asked what was the difference in the Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks dominance or Cavs incompetence, and everybody who's voted in the poll so far has said Knicks dominance.
Yeah, the Knicks are cooking right now, man. They have to be given their credit. I mean, you can't overlook the fact that Cleveland did. They did make some boneheaded decisions.
But, for sure.
But I don't know that any of that would even matter, man, because the Knicks are playing great right now, and you just got to give it up to them. Let me ask the people's champ, man. What chances do you give the Knicks to actually win the title this season?
A very good chance. About as good as chance that you could possibly have. I mean, here's the reason why.
Is it a toss-up, or are you favoring them against whoever?
I think it's a toss-up.
Yep, I do. I
think it's a toss-up.
I do too. Yeah, I've gone from they wouldn't be favored to I think it's a 50-50.
Bro, I went from a week ago that the winner of the Western Conference Finals getting the Larry O'Brien trophy to, okay, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Because before that, I was thinking, Lakers, Nets, 02, 03.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have to take a step back and look at the totality of what the Knicks have been doing.
Sure.
For like the past month. And I started to kind of look at the potential matchup, and I'm like, well, let's see here. San Antonio, OKC, a lot of perimeter players that can they defend. Mm-hmm. They can get hot and shoot the ball from the perimeter. I'm like, well, the Knicks kind of do that too.
Yeah.
I think, but the Knicks in certain spots, maybe a little bigger or longer, pause.
Yeah, right.
And I said, So if they can kind of just hold the fort on that kind of matchup in terms of like the checklist, like if they can just kind of keep that respectable and, don't let, some of the guys that for OKC that kind of goes off when they start to go deep into their bench. Okay. And then you look at the 5 spot, or, where we're talking about Towns. This could be the time. This could be the complete righting of the ship in terms of his career. Yeah. You look at the stage, you look at the franchise, you look at where he was drafted.
Sure.
And, Minnesota basically took the franchise from him and handed it over to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
You look at some of his personal valleys that he's went through. This could be, and he's been playing like maybe he realizes that too. To his credit, because I've been hard on Karl Anthony Towns for north of 10 years.
Me too.
So I will be the first to give him his props. So I look at that and Ant could outplay a Hartenstein and a Chet, and could play a Wemby to close to a standstill because he can bring him outside, and keep him out the paint.
Pull him out the paint, yeah.
I'm like, okay, there's that. And then the last part that made me really think that they have a shot is how the Knicks have been winning and how it can benefit them now that they're in the finals.
Yep.
Having that rest now really matters.
Yeah, I put that down too.
To be able to sweep the previous round and then sweep this round.
Yep.
And when you have guys like an OG who's nicked up, and Brunson, who's nicked up.
Yep.
And that cumulative type of rest that you may need if this thing goes 6 or 7. Or maybe in a swing game 3 or 5 where you may just have to dig for something to stop the dam from breaking, and it ain't there.
Yep.
So I think like the way the Knicks have performed, this may come back to help them.
Yeah.
In a final series. So I think it's a toss-up. And another thing that I wanted to add before I forget, I'm not going to go jump off a cliff and say he should never coach again. But can we please keep Tom Thibodeau out of the coaching carousel for a couple years.
Yeah.
Like for a little bit. Let him get some TV money because I think the Knicks are still paying him.
Yeah.
But like this, because if this isn't proof that maybe if you can just step outside of yourself,
Sure.
and like you say, just do a little change in the philosophy.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And we can kind of see it night and day because the roster's pretty much the same.
Yeah. I mean, I was down on Tom Thibodeau.
And we've both been down on Mike Brown at times.
Yeah. Yep.
But Mike Brown looks like he's been taking kibbles and bits from the places he's been.
Yep.
And learning lessons and taking notes.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I'm documented on this show saying that Tom Thibodeau's not raising any trophies. I'm like, he's not going to lift any trophies anywhere because he's just too stuck in his ways. What you got, nephew?
I just want to add to the fact that for the Knicks, their best player and probably their third best player have been in this foxhole going back 10 years.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Add Josh Harden to the equation, now it becomes 8 years.
Yep.
So I think this is different from typical first final appearances teams.
Yeah.
Because you have a good chunk of your core who's been through the fire with each other before. And so I think that's why I've kind of and just to add that on to the fact of what Lance was saying, I think that's why I believe that the Knicks do have a chance.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the finals.
Yeah.
I am pulling for them because I think if they do somehow end up winning, we're probably gonna get some of the greatest content to ever hit the internet.
Oh my Lord, have mercy! I think to your point, nephew, that what your point will really, really, really show itself if they end up playing San Antonio.
The 99 rematch.
Simply for the simple fact that Brunson and Bridges, they may not have won an NBA championship, but being able to win multiple college championships, and you can throw Towns in that mix as well.
Yep.
Most people that take the PSAT perform better on the real thing than ones that don't.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if you take that and that experience factor and you put it up against a San Antonio where maybe a lot of their players, this is like totally uncharted water outside of maybe like, a Castle and a Wemby when you're talking international stage and Castle collegially, it could play itself out.
Yeah, so.
And the final thing I just want to
ahead,
add, and I don't really, because I want to keep this on the Knicks while we're talking about them, but a good friend, Ty, basically saying the Knicks don't have a chance. We'll get to that later.
So, listen, I'm glad that you mentioned that before I started with my commentary because, I'm torn a little bit. So I agree with everything both of y'all said. The makeup of the team is interesting for a couple of reasons. Because on the one hand, they have been dominant. But to Ty's point, and I don't want to speak for Ty, but my feeling is that the finals is going to be a massive step up in competition, though. There's no getting around it. This is not Atlanta, Philadelphia, or Cleveland that they're going to be playing. And no matter who comes out of the West, there's going to be a massive – it's either going to be the first or fourth best defensive team in basketball. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
So the step up defensively is going to be massive. They're not going to be, hammering whoever they play 35-9 in fast break points. Like, and again, and I'm not trying to take away anything that they've done. So – in psychology, there's something called the proximity standard, right? And that's essentially says that competitors push harder when they are closer to beating or achieving a top-tier benchmark. So it definitely could go that way, where they feel like they're close and they play even better with this step up in competition, right?
04.
But then there's the diamond effect, right? That illustrates that competitors stagnate in easy environments and that facing elite rivals exposes that competitors' exact weaknesses. And that could also happen, that when they take this massive step up in competition, all of the weaknesses will show all at once because they're just going to be playing so much of a better team. I mean, like the difference between Cleveland and OKC or San Antonio is just it's night and day. Like,
I agree.
you know what I'm saying? Like, just the level of competitiveness, the level of athleticism on the wing. I mean, it's going to be so much more difficult. And also, I'll just throw in one of my theories, because I briefly touched on this last week, is that if the Knicks win the championship, they will definitely be the first team in our lifetime to win the championship without a draft pick in the starting five. And like I could run through the entire history of draft. Like, if starting in 1980, Magic, then Bird, then Magic, then Andrew Toney was 1983. Then it was Bird again, then Magic, then Bird, then Magic, then Magic, then Isaiah, then Isaiah. Then it was Jordan, Hakeem, Jordan, Duncan. Then it was Kobe. Then it was Duncan. Then it was Tayshaun Prince. Then it was Duncan. Then it was Wade. Then it was Duncan. Then it was Paul Pierce. Then it was Kobe. Then it was Dirk Nowitzki. Then it was Dwayne Wade. Then it was Duncan again. Then it was Wardell, Stephen Curry. Then it was Kyrie Irving. Then it was Wardell, Stephen Curry, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Kuzma, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Wardell again, Jokic and Murray. Then it was Tatum and Brown. Then it was Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. That's the entire history from 1980 to 2025.
So we just going to skip a name for 2016?
I said Kyrie Irving. That was 2016. That's Kyrie. But I mean, no, LeBron was technically a free agent because he was going back. So I'm giving an actual draft pick though. Like Kyrie was their actual draft pick.
Okay.
I'm not gonna skip. Yeah, I'm not skipping LeBron for that reason. I'm just skipping because LeBron was actually a free agent signing. So yes, that's why I said Kyrie Irving. But every single team from 1980 until 2025 has had a draft pick in the starting five that has won a championship. And because I'm not that familiar with the champions of the 1970s, I would venture to guess it's probably ever, but I'm not that familiar with the champions of the 1970s. So, but that I just did my lifetime, 1980, and I was born in 81 actually, but 1980 until 2025. So that would make them wholly unique in that way.
Yeah.
Because you've always needed drafted talent. But I digress. So we'll revisit that more because I think with that much history, there's got to be something to that. Yeah. Which is another reason why I think they'll probably be a slight underdog.
Yeah, I think they'll be an underdog, but I think this final has gone from being a laugher,
correct,
which I think we thought going into it, to nah, man, this thing. I think this thing can go the distance.
We agree on that 100%.
So Ty, I think your first point, I think that's what Ty was getting at. And then Rob also checking in the chat. He says, that's the one thing about the Knicks winning that I do like to see. People get so stuck on narratives that they completely disregard the possibility of growth and improvement, like Mike Brown and Cat.
Yep, most definitely. Yeah, no, they both deserve their kudos and they deserve their flowers because, yeah, Mike Brown he's definitely done what he was supposed to do in coming there, which was get them over the hump in the playoffs. A lot of people were complaining about the regular season and saying, well, they took a step back in the regular season. Well, whatever they did in the regular season, what he was brought there to do was get them to the mountaintop in the postseason. Yep. So he's definitely checking that box. Last thing I want to talk about from this series is the Winter Soldier.
Oh, my man, James Buchanan Harden.
Because it's reported that the Cleveland Cavaliers plan to give him a long-term extension to keep him in Cleveland. As a Pistons fan, I'm over the moon with that news. But I do want to ask the People's Champ, man. First of all, what do you make of James Harden saying that he believes the Cavs were the better team in the series?
I mean, this is a man that hangs in strips clubs. So, I mean, delusion is a part of his auras. I get it. I understand. Like, that shit rubs off on you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, come on. Hey, Cleveland, if that's what you like,
Right.
Hey, I'm signing me up for 10 more years of James Harden in Cleveland. I'll take it.
I said, I'm here for a 5-year
Yeah.
Supermax deal with a player option, man. Congratulations to the Winter Soldiers.
Have at it.
Yep, that's exactly what I want. I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, listen, the James
Y'all
Harden,
got swept for
yeah, and none of the games were particularly close except for the first one. I mean, yeah, James Harden's delusion is upstaged only by the fact that Cleveland has decided that they see some long-term value in him being around. He's a historically bad playoff performer. When I hear people criticize SGA and in the next breath they apologize for James Harden, it's just I'm taken aback. To call that hypocrisy would be an insult to hypocrites everywhere.
Yeah, man.
At least SGA mixes in some flair and some heroics with his flopping. He had an epic Game 7 in the finals last season. James Harden gives you flopping with an extra large side of disappointment.
Man.
He serves his foul baiting and his flailing with turnovers and bad misses that lead to runouts for the other team. SGA at least plays defense. He had the second best individual defensive rating last year. I would call James Harden a construction cone, but I've actually tripped over construction cones before. Construction cones actually serve as a barrier on the highway, and they stop people from going to certain places and using certain sections of the road. James Harden doesn't stop anyone from going anywhere. He might actually stop the Cleveland fans from coming to the games, but I digress, man.
And we also would like to take this moment to apologize to Dwayne Wade for ever having to participate in debates between who's better between him and the Winter Soldier.
In fairness to Dwayne
We of course
Wade,
never.
I never
like we
participated.
never said or participated in said events. But the chatter was definitely out there, and it's as ridiculous now as it was then when it was ever mentioned.
Yeah,
crazy,
absurd. Ridiculous. But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the Western Conference Finals. Spurs versus Thunder after
competition.
Yeah, right. After 5 games of a fairly tight series, Oklahoma City Thunder did seize control last night with a 127-114 victory, giving themselves a 3-2 series lead and an opportunity to close out the series in Game 6 on Thursday night. SGA led the Thunder with 32 points and 9 assists on just 7-19 shooting, but he was 16-17 from the free throw line. Wemby struggled again offensively, scoring just 20 points on 4-15 shooting and 0-5 from 3. But he was 12 for 12 from the free throw line. He also pitched in with 6 rebounds and 3 blocks. Let me ask the People's Champ, man, what do the Spurs need to do to avoid elimination? What do the Thunder need to do to close out the series?
Just to remind y'all both had this series going 7.
I did. Yes, we did.
True indeed.
Yes, we did.
Well, if the Spurs want to continue this thing, Stephon Castle has to stop turning the ball over.
They all do.
Yeah, but
but he's the main culprit.
And the reason why I single him out was like in last night's game, the timing was just awful.
Yep.
Like right when they were building something that maybe could get a stranglehold of some momentum and sustain it so everybody else could kind of get settled into the game.
Yeah.
He just kept turning it over.
Yep.
And it's been plaguing them the whole series. But if they want to win tomorrow, because, Sunday's a game 7. I got OKC in 7. But game 6 I think, always boils down to, like, that first 7 minutes.
Yep. Who's the most desperate?
If he can kind of play clean basketball the first 7 minutes, and then from there, like the end of that first quarter, they can, keep it within a 1-2 possession game, I think they'll be fine. But they have to win the turnover battle. I mean, you're not going to win the officiating battle. So don't get caught up in your head in that space.
Right.
Because you're never going to win that. So, I mean, the defense is going to be there, but if they don't turn over the ball, they can pile up points, sustain some runs, and then you put the pressure on the officials.
Sure.
And then they'll start to reward some of the aggressiveness that they want to play with on defense.
Yeah.
So they have to do that. Wemby has to get back to imposing his will in the paint.
That's my first sentence. I'm like, he got to play in the restricted area. Yeah, I mean, you know where I'm at with that.
He just has to.
He got to. They're a different team when he plays in the restricted area.
And you know that, and I'm sure he'll make the adjustments. I'm pretty sure it was a film heavy day today, and so far the series has pretty much gone the way we talked about.
Yes.
We've had our 2 blowouts.
Yep.
And these last 2 games will probably be the final blueprints of the final data,
the tug of war.
Yeah, and this will be it. But so like you say, Wemby's got to establish the post. Castle's got to turn down the turnovers. And hopefully, Shapani can continue the 3-point touch that he recovered last night, because he was missing in action.
He was
in the previous game. So,
yep, he was. Nope, yeah, we agree on Wemby. What the Spurs need to do to avoid elimination is Wemby got to be aggressive. He's got to play in the restricted area. We continue to say that because the deeper they go in the playoffs, the more evenly matched they are.
Yep.
The more bad offensive performances will determine the outcome of the game for your best players. And that goes for OKC too, because when SGA has a bad game, they lose.
Yep.
He's got to have good offensive games just like Wemby does.
Yep.
And so this is where the stars are most important. And and the Pistons are no different. Like when Cade had bad games in the playoffs, we lose.
Yep.
So we need our best players to play the best down the stretch. So, I think that definitely needs to happen. And Wemby has to get on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Again, game 3, 39 minutes, 4 rebounds. The games where he doesn't rebound well, OKC gets extra possessions, and they struggle.
And you know what I noticed with a lot of that too? Sometimes Wemby just kind of lets his other guys get the rebounds sometimes.
They do.
And maybe he needs to get a little more selfish with that.
I agree. You know what?
And I don't know, maybe he does that to conserve energy. I don't know. I don't.
That's where I was going. Because you brought that, we kind of texted, we kind of put that in the group chat last night about the fatigue factor.
Mm-hmm.
The younger, you know what, I won't even say younger, the more inexperienced teams seem to be the ones that face the fatigue. I've had that epiphany in these playoffs. And you know what? That's probably always been true. And, I kind of made some notes about that because most superstars even don't win that first championship until, 27, 28.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is something to be said about building up the stamina that it takes to get all the way to the finish line because, you brought up the college schedule and the load management because nowhere else in the world is anybody playing 100 games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get to game 89 even, the body is feeling different.
Yeah.
Everything is responding. Even if you load manage, even if you're only playing 65, then nowhere else is anybody playing 85 games. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you get down to game 78 and the body's responding differently.
And these guys are machines. It's about as close as you can get physically in terms of flesh and blood to a machine.
Most definitely.
Any fluctuation or, plus or minus, they will feel.
Yep. And the thing about it is always think about how much they conserved Wemby's minutes during the regular season. And then I think in the first game, he played, 47 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, I wonder how much fatigue is a factor. Because when you see 4 rebounds, and I think he had 6 rebounds last night, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is got to be fatigue.
And he's 7'5", and maybe, where it's like kind of a scramble 50-50 ball, and he kind of sees Vassal's closer to it.
Yeah, he like,
I ain't been it down to get this
ball. Yeah,
ball,
exactly. Yeah, I'm going to conserve this energy because they're going to need me.
But I'm telling you, man, I keep saying it, and y'all think I'm joking, but I'm serious. Wemby, skyhook, bro.
Half hook, bro.
Yeah.
8-foot wingspan. He don't even need the sky hook is overkill. Though.
I mean, but
just a little half hook
where it just becomes respectable, like a weapon, and then where that opens up like remember like Sabonis, big Sabonis, Pops,
yeah,
and how he could just
Arvidas,
and how he could just start to manipulate the defense just off the threat of that alone.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
even like a Vlade,
call
Reem up, man,
I'm telling you, I mean, like a sky hook would just be such overkill.
Yeah, man.
Like,
what's wrong with 7'5" shooting threes from 30 feet ain't overkill?
No, but I'm just saying, like in the paint, like he just need a half hook because you wouldn't be able to block it anyway.
Bro, he's 7'5", doing sham gods.
Yeah.
He's the definition of overkill, dog. Skyhook.
You said skyhook. That word, dog. What
From
you got,
10
man?
feet.
So checking in with the chat, they leaning the Spurs for Game 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just want to give a shout out to the What We Know podcast. They checking in. They saying cheers, fam.
Oh,
Shout out.
appreciate it, man.
And
Thank you.
I just want to, if y'all listening for the first time, appreciate y'all. Just go ahead and hit that like button.
Yes.
Don't forget to do that.
And please subscribe, man. Y'all subscribe, man. Hit the bell notification. And when you hit that bell notification, make sure you hit all, man, so that y'all are alerted every time we post new content.
Thanks for tapping in.
Yes, man. Every time that we go live, man, we appreciate y'all so very, very much, man. I love the fact that Everybody Has One family is growing, and we getting that great engagement, man. We appreciate y'all so much. Let's see.
Want to move to Duren?
Yep. I think that's what we got, man.
Oh, the All-NBA teams? And
yeah.
Durham?
Oh, you know what? Let me ask you this, man. I did have one more thing for you because I was going to go into, most guys not doing it until they hit their prime unless they got another superstar. But I think we've covered that. Who would you rather see the Knicks face? Let me ask you that.
I really haven't given it that much thought. So
Neither have I.
let's try it. Okay. So for ego and shit talking purposes, OKC, because I picked them. But for basketball novelty and story and content and stuff that we do, I mean, Victor Wembanyama on Broadway for the NBA championship, it kind of writes itself.
Yeah. And you know what? Even though I picked the Spurs, I'm in the opposite camp. I kind of want to see SGA make history.
Okay.
I want to see SGA win the championship and the Finals MVP. Again, making him only the third.
And put himself in that pantheon group of MJ and LeBron.
Because I want to have that conversation. So,
because
we was just talking about debate roundtable. So that might actually be.
That would definitely.
That's one of them topics that we can throw.
That's literally putting yourself in the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just want to point out that both of y'all have said the opposite of who y'all picked.
Yeah, exactly.
But I said that though.
Yeah, I said
I put that disclaimer out first.
I
picked OKC for ego purposes, but if on some look back,
what's crazy is
Wemby's first final in New York. I mean, that's something
that would be great.
I mean,
listen, I pick with my head. I actually been rooting for OKC, but my head just tells me that I like San Antonio in the matchup for different reasons. But no, man, my head is definitely my heart is definitely with OKC. I like to see historical things happen. And how I'm always stat gathering in my head and looking at different things and so I always like to see history. I like history.
Check on those values of those Wemby rookie cards too.
Oh man,
I know Trae Young probably happy.
Yeah.
I mean, because that F Trae Young chat probably gonna live in the Knicks lore forever, but I'm pretty sure SGA or Wemby is going to eclipse him in some way, but by what they do in either game 3 or game 4.
They're going to have to keep SGA in bubble wrap when they not at the game, man. He's going to – they play New York. He's going to drive Knicks fans crazy. He's going to drive Knicks fans insane, bruh.
So, man, let's move on to Jalen Duren. And then we'll talk about Ausar a little bit, too. I got some conversation about him. There's some rumors about him. But this past week, the NBA released its All-NBA first, second, and third teams. Congratulations to Detroit's own Cade Cunningham, also Jalen Duren. Cade made first-team All-NBA for the first time. It was definitely well-deserved.
Only American.
Yep. He was joined on the first team by the league MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, and Luka Doncic. Also, Pistons big man Jalen Duren. He was named to the third team in addition to being an all-star this season, making it a breakout year for the now 22-year-old, and also making him eligible for the Derrick Rose rule bump. The rule allows a player to become eligible to receive 30% of the cap at the beginning of the next deal, as opposed to the standard 25% if they meet one of the following criteria: being selected to an All-NBA team in 2 of the previous 3 seasons or the most recent season, being selected Defensive Player of the Year or winning the MVP in either of the previous 3 seasons. For clarification, the Supermax would be 5 years, $287. That's $49.5 million in the first year and an average annual salary of $57.4 million. So obviously that would be on an escalator to somewhere around $60 million. The most any other team could offer is still the 4 years, $177.4, starting at around $40 million the first year on an escalator to around $48, average annual salary $44.35. Let me ask the People's Champ. With Duren's new eligibility, do you think that complicates the contract negotiations? And do you think it's on the table that we lose him?
Before you answer, I just want to point out from a poll that we posted on the page last week in regards to if the Pistons should offer Jalen Duren a contract or just let the market set itself. We had 15 votes on it. 13 of those 15 votes said let the market set itself.
Yep. I tend to be in that camp as well. But what say you? You think it's on the table that we could lose him?
I mean, I think it's always on the table.
Yep.
There's always been the rumblings, I think, since the trade deadline. Luka Doncic wants Jalen Duren. He likes Jalen Duren. And the whole situation with Austin Reeves, that, there could be some there.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Duren, I think he would know, and I think his people know he's not getting the max.
Yeah, I don't think there's any plan. I just don't think there's any world in which he makes more money than Cade Cunningham.
Yeah,
Cade Cunningham's deal is 5 years, I think $259, if I'm not mistaken. So you can't believe you getting $287. That's just my knee jerk reaction.
Yeah, I mean,
without looking at anything,
sit him down and be like, "Hey, look, bro, we want you here. We want to keep you here. We want to make sure you're paid, but we know there's some growing that has to happen, and there's some pieces that we still need on this roster to get to where we need to go, and we can't get there if we pay you anywhere near the max. So and have that conversation and see where he's at, and hopefully they meet in the middle. But nah, bro, like we not going stupid.
No, I'm kind of on that same page. I mean, again, I always thought that the price was going to be around 40. I'm still of that opinion.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
with the new season and the new dollars and how it kicks
as long as nobody else can give him more than 4 years, 177.4. Is it on the table that offer sheet comes in? Yes, it's on the table that offer sheet comes in, and then we might beat that by a couple dollars. Okay. Like that's, what I'm saying? Like that's my thought process. Again, I'm not saying that that's necessarily what I want, but I'm saying that that's the possibility. If that's the possibility, then you just beat that offer sheet by a couple dollars.
Or it turns into we're writing a $287 million check to go get something really worth $287 million.
Yeah, I mean
that's what that turns into.
Yeah,
and that may be one or two players or players and picks.
Right.
Or,
listen.
Or Giannis.
The bad news is I don't think they letting him go.
I don't want him to leave.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like I don't want him to leave. I just don't want him to stay here at a price that hurts us.
Yeah, and here's the other bad news for Pistons fans. Every player that's ever been eligible under this Rose rule has gotten it. that's the other bad news.
There goes gravity.
Yeah, I know. It's like that. So that's the heart attack news for every Piston. Because when I read that, I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, dear Lord. But I can't see any world where he gets a bigger contract than Cade Cunningham. I just can't see it.
They better not. Better not play around, man.
I just can't see that.
Like, here's what I'm scared of. See, with the whole Piston thing going forward, and now again, we have a first-team All-NBA player, only American, in the league that have a fresh new shoe deal with Nike.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't going to be too many years in his prime where the other voices around that's also getting paid off Cade Cunningham LLC or Enterprises start to be like, hey, I mean, this Detroit thing is cool.
Right.
The Buffs and all that. But, hey, man.
Right.
What you thinking about bigger lights?
Exactly. Yeah.
Bigger money. Or, hell, what you want to go back home and play with Cooper Flag?
Right. Yeah, no, I mean.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Jalen Duren's contract thing can only go so far because our priority is number 2.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. I think that I'm kind of the opinion, same opinion as you. We find a happy median. At this point now we gotta wait for the new league year, see what comes in, because somebody might leap at that because he did make the All-NBA team, and they know that the pressure is gonna be on within the organization. That's going to complicate negotiations. Jalen Duren's people certainly got ideas when that All-NBA team came out.
Yep.
I mean, it's only responsible to them
to
look at that and say, look, this is what he's eligible for. What are you willing to do for me? And, should we just wait till the new league year starts and see whether or not that 177 comes through?
Right.
But what you got, Nev?
I think this situation ends one or two ways, and there's only one or two ways that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If Jalen Duren wants his 5-year, $287 million contract, he needs to go ahead and sign the 1-year offer sheet.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what is it, like 9.6?
Yeah, you need to go ahead and sign that.
And show your ass.
And bet on yourself, because I'm going to be honest, and this isn't against Jalen Duren. Like, this has nothing to do with him, but if I see that Jalen Duren has signed the 5-year, $287 million contract, Trajan Langdon needs to be fired into the sun. And it's not even necessarily because it's a bad deal. It just doesn't make sense.
No, it's a bad deal. You can say it. It's okay. We all know
that. But because it can end up paying off. My whole thing about not doing the deal is that you do not need to lock yourself into a 5th year at this point in time.
Bro.
No, listen.
You
go. Nephew, you absolutely right.
Yeah, bro.
If we read that headline, Doug, heads need to roll.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, if they do that 287 is going towards something else.
I'm the president of the Jalen Duren fan club.
Like, take advantage of the situation.
5 years, 287 is out of the question. That's out of the question. It don't even. Listen, let me tell you something. If he had averaged 25 and 12 in every game in the playoffs, 5 years, 287 would be out of the question. I would still have that attitude. That's out of the question. First of all, there's no world in which he should make more money than Cade Cunningham. That's number one. And I understand the salary cap goes up. It's when you get paid just as much as, who's getting paid.
Right.
I understand all of that. No possible way. I'm with you. If Trajan Langdon makes that deal, Trajan Langdon needs to be shown the door. That's not a good deal to make for us right now. And again, I'm the president of the Jalen Duren fan club. Y'all know I love me some Jalen Duren. I think Jalen Duren I think it's only up from here with him. But that ain't a good move today. I don't care. I don't care how much I like him. I don't care how much potential I see in him. That's not a good move today. For the People's Champ said, for everything that we need, for the pieces we need to add for today, that's not a good deal. It ain't a good deal for the organization. It's not. It just is. There's no way I can see my way clear to doing that. That's not a good deal for the organization today. Not for what he produced in the playoffs. And again, even if he had a good playoffs, it wouldn't be a good deal. But I also want to get to, while we wrapping this up, I want to get to Ausar, because he also was named first team all defense this past week.
First team all defense.
He's the first Piston to receive that honor since Ben Wallace in 2005. It's also been floated that Ausar could be offered a contract extension this summer, somewhere in the range of 5 years, $162 million. That's an average annual salary of $32.4 million. What are your thoughts on them extending Ausar this summer as opposed to them waiting, possibly having the same issue that they have with
Do
JD.
it tomorrow.
Yeah. I could actually see that. I'm kind of in that same boat.
You know, I'm bullish on Ausar.
I love Ausar.
Bricklaying aside, I
love Ausar, man. I know it.
I just think you lock down when you have a top 5 player and a top 5 defender on your roster. You are just so much closer to being a championship contender than the rest of the NBA.
That's a very good point.
So I just think I don't think you overpay.
Yeah.
But when you can make that's
about the rookie scale, though, about 30.
You can take that knife off the table and shelve it for later, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's more than paid dividend. He's more than paid dividend.
You need to do it now before he develops a shot.
Yeah, I agree. Because if
once that happens, bro.
Yeah, because if he becomes the first player, you know, the first guard, I mean, because they have him listed as a guard, even though I don't really think he's a guard. That's another conversation. But if he becomes the first guard to make first team All NBA or an All NBA team and an All Defensive team, then we're gonna be sitting here having this same conversation about him being eligible for the Supermax next year. When you could lock him in now, which we should have gave Jalen Duren 4 years, 120 last summer, and we wouldn't be having this conversation now.
Hey, man, Lethal Shooter reached out. I hope they picked up.
Hey, man, I
hope they there now.
Yeah,
he said all he need is 2 weeks. I said 2 weeks, 2 months.
Right, right. Stay there all summer.
2 months.
Stay there all summer.
Go fund me for both of them. Like, what y'all need? Snacks, chicks.
Stay there all summer, bro.
We will contribute.
Yeah, man. Keep them there all summer.
For real, like, yeah. But congratulations, Cade, Ausar,
and JD.
JD on your contract and All NBA.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, so I'm sure we'll be hearing news at the start of the new league year about all that, man.
Is that July 1st?
Yep. I think they can start.
Kitty corner. I think it's going to be a lot of action around the draft, especially if Milwaukee. I think they're going to basically make their decision before the draft on whether or not they're going to pull the trigger with Giannis, which they should have been done. But I guess like the draft is the D-Day. They're going in the draft with either rebuild or.
Man, I got a lot of draft conversations, man. But I'm saving them
closer
to time. But
apparently, number 5 is a hot commodity right now.
Yeah. And also, I
heard one of the teams linked to that pick is OKC.
Man.
I heard OKC is actually interested in trading out of some of their picks because of all of the guys they have coming up to pay.
Yeah.
And the Pistons actually is one of the teams that's interested in trading down to number 12 to get Yaxel. I just saw that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, I saw that they would be interested in trading up to get him, but I was going to table that for another day.
Yeah. I mean, we got plenty of time
for draft talk.
Solid month.
Yep. But let's talk about the Lions schedule, man. Let me get some of your thoughts on this.
Oh, man.
Again, we got a lot of time to talk about this as well. But the Lions' full 2026 schedule was released this past week. We start at home with the Saints, then Thursday night football at the Bills, hosting the Jets week 3, at Carolina week 4, and at Arizona week 5, heading to a week 6 bye. Aside from the 6 division games, we have the Germany game against the Patriots, at the Dolphins, hosting the Buccaneers, at the Falcons, hosting the Titans, and the Giants. Let's talk about the first leg of the schedule first. Saints, Bills, Jets, Carolina, Arizona. What's an acceptable record after that opening schedule? What say the people's champ?
I have them 3-2 going into the bye.
Okay.
I have a win in New Orleans. I mean, win home.
Yep.
Versus New Orleans. I do have us taking the L at Buffalo.
Yep. Me too.
I have us molly-whopping the Jets.
Yes. At home. We better.
I do have us going on the road and losing to Carolina. Carolina just kind of, they always just kind of give us hell a little bit.
It's at Carolina. That's the problem.
Yeah. and I know, when we go to Carolina, it's always pretty funky. So I have that one as one of those games where I can see them, especially with it being still relatively early in the season.
Yeah.
Where that's like one of those shoulda games where we shoulda won it, but we squandered it.
And it's a Sunday nighter.
Oh, Lord. And week 5 at Arizona, I have them winning that one. So, yeah, going into the bye, I've got them 3-2.
Yeah, I think 3-2 is the worst case scenario. I actually have them 4-1 going into the bye. I think they will beat Carolina. I think it will be ugly. To your point, we always seem to struggle with Carolina. They just kind of ugly up the game. And I like Carolina. You know, I like some of the stuff that they've
made some strides.
Yeah, I like Teteroa McMillan. He's, you know, that dude is a monster. And they, you know, they can run the ball. They just tough. You know, they just a tough team.
And the defense started to take shape towards the end of the season last season.
They did.
Too.
Yep. They could muck it up some. But and then I'll take your overall win total. Most sports books have the over-under set at 10.5.
Oh, well, I have them at 11-6.
There you go.
Yep.
I got them at 12-5.
Okay.
What
are your losses?
Yep, that's a good question. So, I got us beaten. Like I said, 4-1 in the first. I got us losing to Buffalo.
Okay.
That's the only one of the first 5 I got us losing. Okay. And then I got wins over the Dolphins, Buccaneers, Falcons, Titans. So that gets us to 8. And then I have us going at least – I have us having a winning record in the division. Okay. You know, I think we'll lose 1 each to Chicago and to Green Bay.
Oh, I got us beating Chicago both times.
Yeah, I mean, we might.
And the only reason why is because I didn't want to have us losing week 17 and 18 at Chicago and at Green Bay.
Yeah.
Because I have us losing at Green Bay week 18.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got us beating them week 7.
Yeah. You know, listen, we could. I just feel like Chicago is due. Yeah. Because we popped them both times last year. Chicago hadn't beaten us in a long time, and I think they're going to be motivated to get us at least once this year. So I expect that, you know, they'll probably get us one time this year. Okay. But I mean, you know, like I said, between 11 and 12. So, you know, I feel like, you know, the schedule is favorable, but that's always, you know, I say that with caution. Because somebody's going to be good that you don't expect to be good. Injuries are going to be a factor. And, again, like our secondary is still a question mark. And, you know, I'm making jokes about Jacoby Brissett holding out. But with the way our secondary looking, I'm like.
I do have us winning all of our home games.
Oh, okay. You got us undefeated at home.
I do have us winning all
yeah.
I have all of our losses on the road.
Okay. No, I can dig it. What you got, Neff?
They have to exit week 9 6-2.
Okay.
If after week 9 they not 6-2, I think they're in trouble.
That's what I got them at too.
Mm-hmm. Because that is then what heads into the toughest part of this toughest stretch of the year.
Yeah.
Which we hit on last week, and we talked about amongst ourselves that 3 games in 12 games. 3 days. 3 games in 12 days. Golly, I can't talk right now.
I got you.
You don't. I think you have to be 6-2 going over into Germany because you got those 3 games. Then you get Atlanta. You get Tennessee, but. That final month, something about it just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
At Minnesota, we have New York, who could be amazing at that point of the year.
Yeah, that's, you know what? I'm like, that's why you didn't hear me mention the Giants as one of the wins.
They're definitely a wild card.
It is.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a toss-up. I'm like, we could beat the Giants because we do have them at home, but I don't know, man. Some tell me the Giants going to be they're going to be tough this year.
Like the back half of December can be very, very
it's tough.
Depressing. Like there's a world where they lose 4 straight. And we know Ty believes that because, he's in the chat repping for the Bears, but they have to come out strong. They have to start strong. And I'm pretty sure we'll get into it more as we get closer to training.
Yeah,
camp
I was gonna say,
and
yeah, we
whatnot,
got time to
but
talk. That's why I just wanted to do a quick little brush
again, when they released the schedule, they was on strictly business.
through.
That seems to be the path that we heading down now. It seems like we're retiring grit and going to strictly business. So, gotta take care of business. You have to take care of business early, and because the back half of the year looks like it will be a problem.
Yep, I agree. Yep, that's a good assessment. I think we have to start strong. Like no matter what, we got to come out the gate. We got to be playing well. The offensive line has to gel early, and they got to be playing well. And I got to see some improvement from that defensive backfield. Boy, oh boy, and from the front four, we got to be putting pressure on, and we got to be stuffing the run. So no, you're right. But again, like we got more time to discuss that. I didn't really want to, we don't have to belabor it at this point. But let's talk about the Super Bowl rematch in week 1, and then we're going to talk about Ray J. That'll be a fun topic. Seattle Seahawks will host the New England Patriots in week 1 to kick off the NFL season and a rematch of last season's Super Bowl. The game is scheduled, as Nephew has mentioned, for a special Wednesday night kickoff on September 9th at Lumen Field in Seattle. It will also be championship banner night for the Seahawks organization. Expectations for the Super Bowl rematch, and do you like Super Bowl rematches in general? Or is it always just impossible to live up to the hype, man? What's
It's so cheap.
Yeah,
It's so cheap. Because a lot of times what ends up happening is like a key player or, if sometimes the most important player is still holding out for a new deal.
Yep.
Hell, in this game, the MVP of the Super Bowl's not even on the team anymore.
I wrote that.
So it's just like,
I'm like, I want to see what they look like without.
yeah,
Kenneth
man.
Walker.
I mean, it's like a cheap little money grab for the people that only watch the NFL for the Super Bowl or week 1.
Yeah.
Your Walmart fans. Where it's like, oh, they're playing again, and the weather's still nice, kind of, sort of. We'll cut it on.
And then the dirty little secret is the Super Bowl wasn't really all that competitive.
Yeah, I mean that part.
And I think still some of the deficiencies exist for New England, and the advantages still exist for Seattle. So, like my knee-jerk reaction is always to get excited when you see Super Bowl rematch, and then you like. But then again, the Super Bowl wasn't great.
Yeah, week 1 is kind of like when it's like, if it was like Thanksgiving or something like that.
Did Will Campbell's arms grow?
But
Like-
outside of that.
You see him getting knocked backward all day. But yeah, the one thing I am curious about is how they look without Kenneth Walker. Is Charbonnet gonna be ready for the regular season opener? Yeah, like that's like you said, it might be some key guys still missing.
He
not
won't
quite
be
ready.
He won't be ready for long. Love Zach, but bro, he kind of stays nicked up. Bro.
Yeah. So I'm interested what they're doing at running back. But I expect Seattle to still be much better along the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball than New England. Because I don't know that New England has made that many upgrades.
Yeah.
So at any rate, what you got, Neff?
Will Mike Vrabel be there?
I'm thinking
Great question.
I'm trying to see about Charbonnet, and it's looking like is leaning more towards midseason.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because he hurt himself. Did he hurt himself in the postseason, or was it late in the season?
It was the divisional round.
Yep, that's what I thought. Yeah, he hurt himself in the postseason. So I'm like, is he even going to be ready? So, like, who's playing running back? Maybe Ray J can.
Oh, wait a minute.
since Ray J since he's starting with combat sports at our age, I mean, like, what is he doing? Man, let's talk about that, man. Over the Memorial Day holiday, Ray J Norwood, a name I expected to be able to avoid hosting a sports podcast, but to no avail, took on YouTuber Super Hot Fire in an MMA fight and got knocked out in the second round. In the post-fight interview, Ray J implied that there was some sort of staging that was perhaps supposed to take place, but either way, the knockout was brutal. Hours after the fight, Ray J checked himself into a Vegas hospital. I hope he's going to be okay. He has now been there for 2 days as doctors continue to run tests attempting to figure out what's wrong. It's been reported that Ray J had a concussion and was also experienced a decreased heart rate. Again, hoping everything works out for him. Probably not a good idea to take up a combat sport in your mid-40s. This was apparently orchestrated by Aiden Ross. Should this be Ray J's last MMA fight? What say the people's champ?
That's a serious question.
I'm asking you, man.
Whatever that was, should it be Ray J's last? Matter of fact, whatever Ray J's doing should be the last thing that Ray J does. You know, we want him to continue living and breathing, but everything else, stop it all. Like, let all of that be the last of it. Like,
Right.
Just focus on your cardiovascular health, bro. And, like, come on, man. Like, I don't even really like talking about anything Aiden Ross related, man. He is, like, such a clown to me, bro. And, like, this whole thing was just goof troop, all of it.
I mean, I find Ray J endlessly entertaining.
That he is.
And I really do hope he's good.
But don't lay yourself at the the altar of celebrity and it costs you your life, bro. Like, he's seen it up close too many times already. So it's like, come on, man. Like,
I'm gonna shock you, but obviously him taking this exhibition, obviously him taking this fight was an exhibition of poor judgment.
Oh well, yeah.
I know that's gonna shock
add
you
that to
about-
the list.
Yeah, right. It's gonna shock you about Ray J.
Yeah, I mean,
I know people never accuse Ray J of using poor judgment, but yes, he should never fight anyone ever again for any reason.
I mean, dude, and he's in the ring. These fools don't have no headgear
Right.
on.
I mean,
It's just like,
yeah, like what are you doing? Like, why, bro? Why, Ray J? Go ahead, nephew.
I gotta hijack the show. Hold on, give me a second.
What happened?
I want everybody to see me when I go into this spiel.
What you got?
All right, so we just gonna move into sucker shit for the week right now. Cause the past week, the last weekend, I'm not happy. So first off, we're gonna get back to Ray J. But first off, I want to move on to Adrian Broner. First, like, I want to point this out. Like, boxing is one of the first sports that I fell in love with, and that is a lot thanks to the man that's sitting to my left right now. So, knowing how the boxing community is, especially with their champions, especially when someone that you seen in the early 2010s, when your brother who's coming back from Cincinnati, back from school, he's telling you about this kid that might be just as good as Floyd one day, and you see him and you see the potential, and you're like, okay, this might be good. You see the potential. I think we can all sit here and agree to the point that at the end of the day, Adrian Broner didn't live up to his potential, but he still had a very successful career. Am I right? All right. So with all of this said, yes, we have come on this show multiple times and advocated for men going out and getting the help that they need. I think there's a difference between not being able to see that you need help and knowing that you need help and not doing the things that you need to do to get the help. And now you're out here, when people are out here trying to help you, you got Mike Epps literally at your show looking at you, telling you like, dog, you look crazy. You on stream sexually assaulting young females, dog, like the girl. Thank you. I'm sorry. In the game of Minecraft. The girl that he rubbed up on couldn't have been much older than my sister.
I think she was 20.
Exactly. My point exactly. At the end of, like, I can only imagine what I would do in that situation if I saw that. I'm not fighting him. I'm not fighting no professional boxer. So, and then I seen another clip today with him going up to a chick. This is on stream. Going up to another chick and being like, how much it's going to cost. And then head to yo, you coming to my room. And they pop in the room and you, like, dog, like, get your life together, bro. Like, seriously, get your life together. So that's number one. Number two, so then on Saturday, I'm thinking like, oh, the heavyweight champion of the world is about to get fight. Let me turn this fight on. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens. The heavyweight champion of the world, the supposed GOAT of this generation, is getting beat up on by a kickboxer. And I'm not mad about Usyk. This ain't about Usyk. This isn't about the kickboxer. This is about the ref. The ref went into business for the sport of boxing. He was not about to let that fight go on any longer. That was a terrible stoppage. Like that was a clear example of a man going into business for himself and the sport. Like he was not about to allow what should have happened. And I knew something was up when they said that we was open scoring in the arena and it was 76-76. I'm like, how is it 4 rounds to 4 at this point?
Softening it up.
So when the fight got stopped way after the bell rung, the bell had run. The dude was supposed to get his minute to rest. It's just, that's crazy. And then now we're back to Ray J. Why is Ray J fighting when he's supposed to be dying? Why is Ray J fighting when he's supposed to be dying?
First of all, taking up combat sports at our age is insanity.
Why is Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley, 2 6'8" niggas, grappling in the ring, dog? Like, why?
Because they way too close to our age to be doing that. I'm like, stop taking up combat sports.
And I mean, I get what they was doing. They went in there to go get a bag. Because clearly they got out of there in a minute. But y'all doing all this tap dancing for Aiden Ross. And like
That's
I think
what it all is, bro. Like
it's just like y'all gotta stop this. Like you got somebody getting a lap dance in between rounds. Like you got two men who are much bigger than I ever seen Butterbean ever step into the ring, fight each other. Like all of this tap dancing, y'all gotta stop that, man.
Johnny Manziel.
Y'all killing like
When did
boxing
Manziel
and to
start
a lesser is like. It don't matter. Boxing to a lesser extent, MMA is one of the first things that I fell in love with watching as a sports fan. And y'all are making a disgrace and a mockery of that shit. And at the end of the day, y'all need to figure out what y'all want to do. I'm done.
Nephew with the rant.
I'm Lance Reynolds, and I approve that message.
Hey, man. Amen to all that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have nothing to add to that.
No,
I mean,
neither
Adrian,
do I. He said it all.
I'll just say, like,
AB need to get the help he need, man.
I mean, the thing with AB, man, I've seen what like rock bottom for people like him looks like,
Yeah.
and the people that care about him need to get around that dude because
it's getting ugly.
That doesn't end well. It
Yeah,
just doesn't, and no one's prophesizing that or wanting to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, you just look at him health wise.
Yeah, he don't look right.
The liver's bloated, bro.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that his liver's bloated. Because I mean, it's just sad, man. You hope some people they don't have to hit rock bottom before they make a change, or life starts making decisions for them.
Yep.
But that seems to be where he may be trending.
Fellas, the judgment is always on display. You understand? Good judgment, man. Good judgment. And speaking of that, unfortunately, that segues into our next conversation about Rashee Rice.
Oh, man.
There were 18 conditions placed on Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice when he received community supervision, which is a type of probation, last July, for the multi-vehicle crash in 2024 after he raced a luxury car down a Dallas freeway. Number 2 was, quote, avoid injurious and vicious habits and do not use marijuana, narcotics, dangerous drugs, inhalants, or prescription medications without first obtaining a prescription for said substance from a licensed physician, unquote. Dallas County officials said last week that Rashee Rice tested positive for THC, and that triggered a 30-day detention in the Dallas County Jail. He's now serving that time and will miss the Chiefs' OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Also, Rice had a minor surgery earlier this month on the right knee, and his rehab efforts are believed to have hit a major roadblock. He will most certainly miss critical postoperative rehabilitation during the first month of recovery. Did I mention this is the last year of his 4-year, $6.4 million rookie deal, and he's going to be looking for a long-term deal. If you were the general manager of the Chiefs, would he be looking for that long-term deal elsewhere? What say the people's champ?
Sounds like somebody's trying to work their way to unemployment.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, I agree.
You can't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, see, the thing about it is you have to be good enough where they excuse your stupid.
Yeah.
He ain't that good.
Not quite. No.
Like,
nope.
The simple fact that you couldn't just have your agent find a doctor that they can pay to write you a script for some weed.
Right.
It just shows that, you're dumb.
Yeah. Your judgment. We just talked about judgment, right?
I mean,
did we say the judgment is on display at all times?
So, you don't get the benefit of the doubt when it comes down to, those negotiations.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, they think about and they remember stuff like that. Like,
I need to be able to trust you.
Like, yeah, man, because they know that you're fast and they know you're good.
Yeah, you can play football.
They pay you and with any job, I don't care if you're playing football, if you're cutting people open.
Yep.
Your pay and any raise that you get is based on trust.
Yeah, and availability.
Yeah, like can we trust you and can we trust you for you to be there
correct
when we pay you?
Yes, because if you in the Dallas County Jail, you can't be here.
Yeah.
You can't be here, and now you on probation, and with violations, that's going to extend your probation. That's the problem with violations. It's going to take longer for you to get off probation.
Probation is for people who've made dumb decisions.
Yes.
It's like, okay, we get it. You did something stupid.
Yeah.
Here's your chance to not go all the way full. You know what? That's what probation is. Yeah. But if you are like a true idiot that doesn't seem to learn, you will continue to just stack up and pile up violations.
And 18 conditions is crazy too. I'm like, but not using weed is a pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that. You know?
It's like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't smoke weed. It's
like that one is a pretty easy
yeah, bro,
one.
You knew. And then they said, if you do, we have conditions for you to do. Like when they put stuff in print like that, they're telling you like,
right, just go get it.
Like they can't tell you like, code, if you got the bread, you can do what you want.
Exactly.
Because that's like kind of what the legal system is. Like if you go through anything, they always say and or fine.
Right.
So when they put the fine print in there, there goes that fine word again. It's like, unless you have, like, dude, just or at least get some smart people around you that read that stuff for you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm like, I might give him the George Pickens treatment. I might franchise him for a year
to see what he got.
But I'm not giving you no long-term deal, bro. You don't have good judgment. I cannot pay you in good faith.
Especially the rehab on the field.
Yeah, for a long-term deal. And I mean, in fairness, J-Mo has some issues with his judgment too before we gave him but he cleaned up his act and he stayed on the field contiguously for an entire season without incident before they gave him a contract extension. I might give you the franchise tag, Nate. This year is shot. You already did this foolishness. You can't be there for mandatory minicamp. I can't give you a long-term extension.
Right.
If I tag you next year and you can stay on the field for an entire season without incident,
right,
then we can talk a long-term deal. But it has to be without incident.
Right. To your J-Mo point in availability, one of his incidents were at Lions facilities. So.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, so that, right. I'm like, we can't extend you until you play a full season without incident, bro. We can't have you, with all of this silliness. And again, the gambling thing was kind of a misunderstanding, but still, it's like, bro, we need you to exercise good judgment. And then the next question I ask is, do you believe he will be suspended? That's the question, because that's kind of floating in the ether.
I thought they allowed the medicinal in the NFL policy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they'll probably give him enough time to get a script to show Goodell, and they'll be like,
Yes, I kind of agree that I don't think he violated the league's personal conduct policy either, unless there's more to this.
Oh, right, unless if they say if you're on paper and you violate, you know what I mean? If there's a legal violation, then, he may have had something with the NFL where it was something pending the result of this case, where it's like, we'll monitor this, and if you violate that, then we got to hit you over the head. Who knows? But
because I was reading everything, and I'm like, I don't think the league has any standing, but if I'm the Chiefs, I might hit you with a conduct detrimental to the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I might give you a one game and take a game check because people need to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta smarten up, bro. Yeah. I might need a game check about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they really want to be punitive, again, I don't know what the hierarchy is. I don't know how communicative he is with the management there, but I agree. I don't think the league has any standing to do anything because I don't think that he did anything to necessarily violate the personal conduct policy. But conduct detrimental to the team, we might have to have that conversation. We at least going to have a talk. Like, your next go-round, just know that.
Dummy tax.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Just your next go-round, just know I'm taking the game. What you got, Nev?
So he was cleared for personal conduct policy violations for the original incident.
Gotcha.
As far as the NFL's marijuana policy, they're no longer suspended for it, but you do get fined $15,000 for a first positive test, and then, of course, if you keep testing positive, that increases. So
it's on the escalator. Yep.
So I think, considering everything. Considering all the factors going into the situation, I don't know if he gets suspended, but it does sound like a heavy fine might be on his way.
Fine might be, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I might, if I'm the Chiefs, definitely a fine is on the table. Even if the NFL don't do it. If I'm the Chiefs, I might have to go on and hit you with a tax, bro. And because you did this right around first of all, first of all, you just had your knee cleaned out, and you're supposed to be rehabbing.
Right.
I mean, like, your timing is bad. Everything is just you out of pocket, bro. You out of pocket. And I understand, man. Like, I try to give some grace. These dudes are young, man. They young, and I did plenty of foolish things when I was, around that age, man, early 20s. You do some silly stuff, but, bro, you got so much money and your whole future is staked to your behavior,
right?
Your judgment, things that you're doing, man. Get with your OGs. Like, where's the OGs watching over some of these young cats? And I know you can't, listen, I got two sons in their early 20s, 25 and 20, and my youngest will be 22 on Monday. I understand you cannot monitor them 24/7. I do get that. But I'm like, man, you got to be gaming them up every chance you get.
Yeah.
And explaining to them the stakes of bad decision-making every single time you get an opportunity, because these dudes are making life-changing money. They have an opportunity to set themselves up generationally, but a couple of bad decisions can just, all of that can be gone. So. Yeah. I digress, man. I'm pulling for the brother. I do want to see him get himself back together. But if I'm the Chiefs organization, I have to be transparent. I couldn't give him a long-term deal based upon what happened last year and now what has happened this year. I really couldn't, in good faith. I couldn't put 4 or 5 years on the table. I don't know if you're going to be able to keep yourself out of trouble.
Right.
But let's talk about some of these LeBron James rumors, man. I know how much you enjoy that. According to sources, LeBron is waiting for the Lakers to approach him with a contract offer. If it's anything less than the maximum, he's going to want to know what the Lakers, he's going to want the Lakers to explain why and what other players they're going to target with the money that is saved. There has been discussion about a sign and trade, and the best chance for LeBron to make significant earnings while also moving on to a different team. The teams mentioned are the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, and Golden State Warriors. let me ask you, man, if the Lakers fail to reach a deal with LeBron and his camp, what move makes the most sense for one of these three teams or something else? What say the people's champ?
No.
Come on, man.
I just want him to go. I don't care. Oh, I'm just exhausted, bro.
You want to see him back in the Heat uniform, man?
No, man. For
About
what?
the Cavs.
And do what?
You don't want to see him over there in Golden State with Steph?
No. And do what? Oh my God, man! Listen,
Your level of exasperation is hilarious.
It's just I am spent, bro. Like the made up scenarios and like the every monicum of news that gets reported. LeBron had a problem with the game ball going to JJ Redick for what? Like whatever, bro. Whatever LeBron does, I'm okay with it. Because we have to be, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, listen.
The Lakers, okay, all right, let me try to divulge
Go ahead,
some
man.
serious thought.
Yeah, let's.
Because it's painful at this
What you got, man?
I don't know, man. Like, go.
If it's not a max offer, he wants to know what.
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
gonna
that's
do with their
ridiculous.
money.
Like, who are you?
It's Aaron Rodgers territory. It's like, bro. Yeah, I mean, listen, I got.
If I'm not, like, okay, so
Go ahead.
here's the thing. Accolades and gratitude aside,
Yes,
is he a max player?
that's a great question. So I have a whole theory, right? LeBron has remained so good for so long that it has actually complicated his ability to continue to play. On the one hand, he can still produce 21, 6, and 7 on 51.5% shooting, 33 minutes.
Very impressive.
On the other hand, he is 41 years old going into his 24th season
And he is a part-time cone on defense.
and almost certainly looking to wrap his career up sooner rather than later. His production warrants a max contract.
It don't, though.
His desire for a championship may require him to take a pay cut. Even with the otherworldly physical conditioning, injuries are certainly a concern for a 40-plus-year-old athlete.
He can't sustain the level of defense required.
No, he can't.
He just can't, man.
Look,
And
but I will say he's better than 99% of the forwards in professional basketball.
I 100% agree with that.
But you can't make future plans that include him because of his age.
Yeah, you just can't.
He almost certainly makes any team better immediately, but sacrificing young assets to get him is almost in every case would be short-sighted.
And then so now you run into the whole thing where the 1-and-1s.
Yep. Yeah.
So
right. He's
so
signing
now,
a 2-year deal, 1 year in
so
a player
now we have
option.
to do this.
I got that
so
in
now
here.
We got to do this nonsense every offseason. And it like, bruh, it's exhausting.
Listen.
Now it'd be different. Like, because I understand how the argument could be when Kobe was getting old and the Lakers were still, they were overpaying him. Kobe
Sure.
wasn't the same player.
Right.
But Kobe had, like, at that point, like 15, 16, 17 years in with one franchise.
Yes. Yes. That's a whole different story.
LeBron does not have that equity with the Lakers.
No.
He has that equity with the NBA. But again, to your point, if you're like a contender, like, are you trying to win a championship or are you trying to just like put butts in seats?
Yeah.
And LeBron claims that he wants to
Compete
for championships. And if you want LeBron James on your team, you're getting rid of all of your championship pieces to get LeBron, and you're stuck in limbo. I mean, we talk about this every week,
Listen,
dog.
so he'll have to either take less than what he's worth
He said he's not doing it.
or get market value
And not only that, you
somewhere
got to take his bum-ass son.
with very little chance of winning a title.
And you got to take his kid with him. He's
The
not going
teams-
to leave his son in L.A.
The teams in contention either have the pieces they need to compete or won't see him as a long-term solution. And the teams that can afford to pay are likely unattractive destinations for him. If only he stunk, everything would be so simple.
Too high to get over.
He could sit at the end of OKC's bench like so many before him and quietly coast to ring number 5. But LeBron's extended prime is his superpower and is his kryptonite. A sign and trade isn't a matter of who you would trade. It's a matter of why would you trade them. Think about the contenders and then think about the money. Even if LeBron is willing to take $30 million per year, which is a bargain for his production, he's probably going to be playing on a 2-year deal, a 1-and-1 with a player option. $30 million is Trey Murphy or Devin Vassell or Ausar Thompson. That's the caliber of player that you'd have to trade to get LeBron. The problem is they're all 25 or younger, and he's old enough to be their dad, literally.
Right.
They represent years of productivity and endless potential. LeBron represents, at best, 2 more years.
Finite.
Of high-level basketball. Possibly more, but not guaranteed. It's just not smart or sustainable.
And then it gets to the point where you're literally gambling.
Yes.
Like, you're literally gambling after a certain point. Like, again, credit to him for being able to sustain this level of play for this long. But after a while, you have to, in the back, even I would think him in the back of his mind knows he's playing roulette with his body.
Yeah, listen. Even like, and this is why I said, and I've continued to say, it's retirement time, because he's boxed himself in the corner.
He's stuck in neutral, man.
Yeah, like he's so good that he's worth way more than anybody's gonna want to give him, and he's worth so much that he's gonna hamper anybody that's a championship contender that'll pick him up.
Yeah, it would have to be like a situation where, like, the geezers get together and just try to link up and empty their tank and get a last ring. And I'm talking about that's not going to work. But I'm saying that's the only thing. And I don't want to see that. But that's the only thing that I can think of where it would be like him and Kawhi going to Golden State. You know, I mean, something like that. Like, because it's like, what else do you do?
So, like, you know, okay. So, like, let's play devil's advocate. Let me play devil's advocate, because I know the LeBron hive is probably getting upset. I'm gonna do a sign and trade. I'm gonna pay him $27 million. I'm gonna sign and trade him straight up to San Antonio for Devin Vassell. Now, listen, Devin Vassell is 25, but they got a lot of wings, right? Right. So they can actually afford to give him up. It's room at the end over there, and they got De'Aaron Fox signed through 2030 on a max deal. So he'll just take Devin Vassell's spot and minutes. Let's just say we did that, and now he's on a contender with the chance to win. How does he fit? Does he keep the floor spread? I mean, and LeBron is a Swiss Army knife, so it's entirely possible that he can help over there. Again, I'm not telling you that San Antonio is going to take that deal, that they're going to take Devin Vassell, that the Lakers are even interested in signing and trading and taking Devin Vassell for $27 million. I'm just throwing that out there.
Tinfoil Koofy.
Yeah, this is just straight tinfoil Koofy theory. But there's not even a guarantee that he even works out, like that's even a good fit, because Devin Vassell keeps the floor spread at all times. And I'm not even telling you that LeBron couldn't do that. But he's complicated his situation by being this good at 41 and going into year 24. He hasn't made it easier because, again, really, theoretically, he's a max player. Like, he could go out and command the max, but he's not going anywhere that's going to have a chance to win a championship. And I think that's a tough sell. It's a tough sell to trade him for a 25-year-old. But maybe somebody will if they see him as being that valuable. It's hard for me to see that, but maybe that's a possibility, man. I don't know. But that's my theory. I wrote that commentary a little ways back, and I'm like, man, let me talk about this the next time I get on here.
All right, man. No more LeBron till he signs somewhere.
Okay. All right, fair enough, man. And nephew hijacked the sucker shit segment, so I don't think we need to go back over that.
And nailed it, by the way.
Yeah, he did, man. Shout out to nephew. So I just want to hit this Kyle Busch real quick, man. This was a shock.
Out of nowhere.
On May 21st, Kyle Busch was rushed to an undisclosed hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina, when his sinus infection progressed into bilateral pneumonia with sepsis. Apparently, Busch had bacterial pneumonia on an undetermined etiology for a number of days to weeks prior to his passing. The pneumonia then progressed to sepsis. When the sepsis set in, blood clotting was caused, and that blocked blood flow to his organs, causing hemorrhagic shock, which occurs when the heart can't get enough blood to function, and that ultimately caused his passing. I didn't mean to get so clinical, but, when someone so young passes, I think it's necessary to spell it out because rumors have become rampant. I'm not going to give credence to the rumors, but that detailed description of the process was published for a reason. Suffice to say, Kyle Busch was a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion in 2015 and 2019, a two-time NASCAR Cup Series regular season champion in 2018 and 2019, a NASCAR Xfinity Series champion in 2019, and a NASCAR Truck Series owner champion in 2015 and 2017. On behalf of the Everybody Has One family, we extend our heartfelt condolences to the Busch family, the friends and colleagues, and everyone at the Kyle Busch Motorsports. Not a big NASCAR fan, but I definitely knew that name, and he definitely will be missed in those circles and in all sports circles. Got anything to add to that?
No, man, that was pretty terrible.
Yeah, that was, man.
I saw that flashing across the screen. It's crazy.
41
now,
years old.
His condition, could that have been treated with medication?
I mean, so I think they were treating the sinus infection, and I think it just all progressed very quickly.
Now, the progression, does that have to do with him racing? Because
No.
he didn't take any time off racing. Does moving around at 200 miles an hour?
I think the biggest factor in everything is that
'Cause I don't
he
know.
waited to go to the hospital.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know. Because, I mean, that's pneumonia is pretty common. So and when you hear that, and sinus infections are pretty common. And sinus infections are no joke. I remember, bro, about 25 years ago, bro, I had a sinus infection that literally lasted for like 6 or 7 weeks, bro.
Wow.
Like, I had to go to the ear, nose, and throat specialist, and they went through quite a few different medications for me because it was something I picked up working in a stock room of a dirty ass CVS.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, bro, I literally had about 6 weeks. Easy.
Yeah, so I think the bacterial pneumonia, that sounds like it progressed very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once it got to sepsis, which is, just like a blood infection.
Yeah, for sure.
It
That's kind of pretty much it.
Yeah, it kind of moved very quickly from there. But it, I'm not,
and like I said,
I'm not sure
what
exacerbated. Yeah,
it's like, to your point. It's just when you hear someone so young passing away.
Yeah,
at the top
curious,
of the, and you just wonder, like, and then you base it off what you know. I'm just basing it off what I know. I'm no expert in much of anything.
Yep.
So I was just wondering, like, I wonder, could that have been treated, or was it a delay in, like one of those things when, again, you're young, you're like, I just got a little cough.
Yeah.
I'll cough it off, or I'll just, eat something for a couple of days, or,
most
clear
definitely.
my sinuses or whatever. So yeah, man.
I'm not close enough to the situation to know all of those types of details and whether or not he received medical treatment fast enough, or whether there was some type of a delay. But they said he was feeling bad for quite some time prior to him actually going into the hospital. And once he got into the hospital, everything progressed sort of quickly. So I'm not 100% sure, of the onset of all of the conditions, but super sad, man. I'm 41 years old, man. That's super young, and I know Kurt Busch, I think, is his brother.
Yeah,
he's also a NASCAR driver. So yeah, man, that's rough. And that's all I got, man. Anybody else, man? You got anything, nephew? Or you got it all out?
I got everything I need to get
Okay,
out.
all right. I think that's it, man. We appreciate y'all for joining us, man, again for another episode of the Everybody Has One podcast, man. Y'all join us back here next Wednesday, man. We'll be wrapping up the Western Conference Finals, man, discussing the actual finals, because those will be starting on June the 3rd.
Like Tuesday?
Yep. So we'll be discussing game one. obviously, we'll be talking about some draft, and the NBA season is coming to a close. We gonna in July we're gonna do a debate roundtable, man. So we're gonna be reaching out to some of the Everybody Has One family to discuss that, man. We still we still putting the finishing touches on the topic, man. We gonna figure out what we want to do, and then we gonna decide which one of the we bring on a couple of the Everybody Has One family members to debate with us and to sit with us and to talk with us and to maybe give some fresh perspectives, because we always like to hear from the family, and we appreciate y'all engaging with us. Make sure y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. That's Everybody Has One spelled out everywhere else. Sports podcast. That's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. That's on Threads. That's on Twitch. And that's on TikTok. And the audio version of the podcast is also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, man. Make sure y'all tapping in with us in all of those different locations. Make sure that when you hit that bell notification, man, make sure you hit all so that you are notified every single time that we post new content, new videos, new shorts, and every single time we go live, which is every Wednesday at 8:30 or as close as we can get to it. Thank you all again, man, for joining us. None of this is possible without the Everybody Has One family, man. Y'all make it all possible. Y'all make it fun. Y'all make it interactive, man. Thank y'all for being in the chat. Make sure y'all continue to tell your friends, your family, your enemies, people at Tim Hortons, people at Dunkin' Donut, people at Starbucks, people at anywhere you're standing in line, man. Turn around and tell them to listen to the Everybody Has One podcast, man. And we will see y'all next week. This is the Everybody Has One podcast. Peace.